What's your favorite stretch of the Pacific Surfliner? The cliffs of San Clemente or the sweeping beaches near Oceanside? Wherever it is, imagine losing that ride forever. Erosion is threatening the tracks, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Luckily, a rescue plan is now rolling out, but according to the reaction from citizens, can it actually save the route? Stick around for today's episodes of Great Trainspeed, and we'll show you how California is fighting back to protect its rail future.
Train passengers. CBS 8's Chris Groh live at the Oceanside Transportation Center.
The Pacific Surfliner is caught in a worsening crisis rooted in its geography. The line runs directly along the Pacific coastline, treating riders to spectacular ocean views, yet that same closeness to the sea has become its greatest risk. Coastal erosion, fueled by rising seas and stronger storms linked to climate change, is steadily undermining the tracks. The most fragile areas include the Del Mar Bluffs and San Clemente. In San Clemente, repeated landslides since 2022 have forced multiple shutdowns, with a major slide in January 2024 closing the stretch between Irvine and Oceanside. OCTA and the Lawson Rail Corridor Agency point to unstable bluffs, weakened by heavy rainfall and pounding surf, as the culprits. Del Mar faces a similar threat. Its 1.7-mile bluff section erodes by as much as 6 inches a year, eating away at the right-of-way. The impacts ripple outward. Extended service suspension, like the months-long closure after the 2024 San Clemente slide, pushed Amtrak to substitute bus bridges, damaging reliability and driving passengers toward cars and planes. Ridership drops, and coastal cities such as Ventura and Santa Barbara lose vital tourism dollars as hotels and businesses see fewer visitors. Attempts to stabilize the line have mostly been emergency fixes. In early 2024, OCTA completed a $10 million stabilization project in San Clemente and built a $7.2 million, 160-foot catchment wall at Mariposa Point to intercept debris. Service was restored by March 6th, but another landslide quickly exposed the limits of the solution. California has since committed $189 million to bolster the Lawson corridor, though experts caution that these measures are only temporary. A long-term answer, like the long-proposed $4 billion tunnel under Del Mar, remains stalled by political resistance and would not be finished until at least 2035. For now, however, officials have unveiled a new approach designed to protect the route and buy time. Recently, they have made an action. But will this latest effort finally keep trains running without disruption?
Friday, elected officials and others marked the first delivery of sand.
San Clemente's coastal rail line, one of the most scenic yet most vulnerable stretches of track in California, is now the focus of an urgent rescue effort. Recently, officials marked the arrival of the first batch of sand delivered to North Beach, launching a project aimed at protecting the corridor from relentless erosion. The Pacific Surfliner road has been battered in recent years, with shrinking beaches on one side and unstable bluffs on the other, forcing repeated service shutdowns. Residents have seen the shoreline steadily disappear, leaving the rails dangerously close to the waves. The sand replenishment effort is meant to act as a buffer, shielding both the tracks and the beach from further damage. Over the week, 300 truckloads of sand hauled from a Palm Springs quarry will be spread across a 1,400-foot section of beach, nearly a quarter-mile long and stretching toward Mariposa Point. Crews will carefully shape the fill, pushing it from the rail corridor toward the surf to reinforce the weakened shoreline. To avoid disrupting service, trucks and equipment pause whenever trains pass, then continue once the tracks are clear, keeping passengers moving even as emergency work unfolds. This week-long project, estimated to cost $900,000, is described by officials as just the tip of the iceberg. While it offers immediate protection, it is only a temporary fix in a much larger battle to stabilize the rail line. Longer-term solutions, such as bluff reinforcement and even potential track relocation, are still under study. For now, the first delivery of sand stands as a tangible step towards safeguarding a rail corridor that millions rely on and a symbol of the delicate balance between California's coastal beauty and its powerful, ever-changing forces of nature. Even though the teamwork is impressive, it feels like all levels of government are congratulating themselves for a short-term patch while the long-term danger grows. What's your take on this plan? Do you think it's the key to keeping the road alive? Smash a 1 if yes, or drop a 0 if you're not convinced. Reactions from passengers and community observers reveal a wave of skepticism about the $900,000 sand replenishment project in San Clemente. Some question the strategy itself, arguing that trucking in 300 loads of sand from Palm Springs is both inefficient and costly. Stopping the erosion on one side of the tracks is reducing the sand on the ocean side, one noted, suggesting that dredging offshore might be a cheaper and more effective solution. Others express frustration at the high price tag, calling the nearly $1 million cost ridiculous for what is seen as a temporary fix. Critics also raised doubts about leadership and planning, saying California should be able to mobilize a professional dredging operation rather than rely on short-term piecemeal efforts. As one passenger put it, if the California government can't get a dredger out in the ocean moving lots of sand on shore, maybe it's time for a leadership change. Meanwhile, others pointed out unintended consequences, noting that beach sand cannot be repurposed for construction due to its rounded grains, meaning valuable resources are being consumed without broader utility. Overall, while the first batch of sand symbolizes action, many passengers remain unconvinced. For them, the project reflects more about political quick fixes than about building a durable, long-term solution to protect one of California's most important rail corridors. Despite these challenges, Amtrak has not only maintained its Pacific Surfliner service, but has also moved forward with expansion. On June 12, 2025, Amtrak announced plans to add a 12th daily round trip. The June 2025 schedule update also included several temporary adjustments. From August 1st to 16th, service north of Goleta was suspended for the La Cañada Honda Bridge replacement project in Santa Barbara County. The 127-year-old bridge, now in the process of being replaced, is designed to improve reliability, boost efficiency, and prepare the line for future growth. During construction, buses connected San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara, with regular train service resuming on August 17th. Meanwhile, construction work near Del Mar has continued to cause occasional schedule shifts on Sundays through Tuesdays between San Diego and Old Town. Among the most ambitious ideas is the Lawson Rail Realignment Project, which could eventually shift tracks inland, potentially through tunnels, and set the stage for future electrification. However, the plan faces steep costs and community resistance, leaving its timeline uncertain. In the near term, strategies remain focused on maximizing existing infrastructure by restoring pre-pandemic schedules, boosting efficiency, and ensuring consistent frequencies with stronger connections. In the medium term, schedules are expected to be refined to close service gaps, with targets of hourly service in the northern corridor and half-hourly in the southern corridor, where track capacity permits. Looking further ahead, service levels are still expected to align with the California State Rail Plan. By 2027 and beyond, the goal is to operate trains every 30 minutes north of Los Angeles and every 15 minutes south, potentially offering 17 to 18 daily Surfliner trips in each direction between Los Angeles and San Diego. Expanded commuter rail and additional frequencies are also envisioned in time to support the 2028 Summer Olympic Games, marking a major step forward for intercity rail in California. That's a wrap for today's journey. We hope you enjoyed the ride and picked up something new along the way. Thanks for tuning in, and until the next train, stay safe and keep your passion for rail rolling.